What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys joined me from my closet today instead of at my desk because I've got some stuff to show off for you guys here on video. And we're going to talk a lot about the Sport Trac in particular, but we're also going to talk about other stuff because this is, of course, the monthly update. And yeah, so that's why I went in the closet today. It's because I got parts I want to talk about, and I didn't feel like bringing them out there because it's a bit of a cumbersome thing, and I literally just cleaned this closet yesterday, and I don't want to make it a mess. But anyway, we've got lots of stuff to talk about the Sport Trac, got parts lying around everywhere to talk about, and all that good stuff, and what's coming after it gets home, because it's done. But they want more than what I have, so I'm having to get some money together to get it home, which is really unfortunate. It's a bit more than pretty much all of us expected. It's kind of like the same way with the exhaust. I was kind of blindsided by how much the exhaust cost. It was great work, so I'm not complaining about it, but this is hopefully going to be the same thing. But yeah, so I'm getting ready to go pick it up in the next couple of days, so expect a video on that. I'm really excited to get it home and have it driving again, because it's been almost 7 months since the last time I got to sit in that driver's seat. Well, more than that if you count the times, you know, sat in the driver's seat and didn't try to kill me. But anyway, that is kind of a rundown. The truck's ready. I just have to get some money together to go get it. And I'm really excited to bring it home and you know, have it again. It's been great, and it's been a long time, and I'm just ready to get this whole situation I've been in for this long behind me and get back to business as per usual, because we've got a lot coming up that I'm really excited to talk about, which I'll get to towards the end of the video, my future kind of plans. But for now, let's talk about stuff that you guys can expect to see rather soon after the Sport Trac gets home. Starting off with this big guy in the back. You guys might or might not remember this. So this is back to last year. I've had this for a very long time. We released a video about building a custom intake that was too good. And the reason for that is because this guy right here made the truck run so lean that going half throttle would hit lean cut at 2,000 RPM. That's how much performance this intake has in it that the truck could not handle. So, yeah, too much fuel, not enough gas. So, definitely it is in need of a retune, which I was planning on doing right now, but, of course, the truck got other plans. And, so yeah, I'm going to be switching over to Unleashed. Brent Speed, unfortunately, does not do data log tunes, and the only place I can go to get a custom tune from them that is dialed in specifically for the Sport Trac is to go to Indiana, and I'm in Georgia. So it's a very, very, very long drive for me to make for a dyno tune, and I refuse to get that truck out of state right now until I can trust it again. So, yeah, definitely going to have to switch up to Unleashed or possibly get a custom tune at Most Speed Shop, which is practically in my backyard. A lot of people may know them if you've watched Foxcast, or I believe a couple other people on YouTube have been to their shop, so as well as us. We've been to their shop before, me and Michael. So, yeah, this guy is going to be decimating all with a whole of like 30 horsepower gain. It's going to make a whole like 240 horsepower. Woo, yeah. Anyway, the truck's slow. But this is going to add a lot of performance that I was not expecting it to have. With intakes, I've never believed them to be that great of a performance adder. I always thought it was kind of bogus, and I just did them for noise. This time around, though, it's obvious that there's going to be a bit of a performance increase with this. So hopefully that new transmission can hang on tight. But yeah, this thing is great. I'm really excited to get it put back in. I have to get it retuned, though, which is the unfortunate part of the whole thing. So for those who don't know, completely aluminum all the way. We didn't cheap out with plastics. I bought the most expensive crap I could buy for this. I wanted it to be perfect. We've got, I believe there's our V-band clamps going all the way down. I decided have a couple worm gears towards the top. We've got the MAF housing. This is a 4-inch. The rest of it is 3-inch or 3.5 inch. So this is the only piece that's bigger than 3.5, and we do have to put a restrictor in it to get it to cooperate with the rest of it. We have an AEM filter on the back end. I really like AEM. I like HKS more, but AEM is great too. I wanted HKS on this, but I was heavily advised against putting the HKS filter on this by Michael, so I listened and bought the AEM instead, and I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, this will go on. This will go back on after I can actually get it retuned, which is kind of towards the bottom of my list, because I want to get other stuff dealt with, the lock motors that are bad. I want to get the crank pulley replaced, to get the timing tensioners replaced on the exterior side, because the interior ones I can't do, they're pulling the motor out, and I'm not going without the dang truck for another few more months. So yeah, big intake, going back on towards the end of the rebuild saga of the Sport Trac. I'm really excited to get that on though, because that's going to be pretty much the biggest performance change it's ever had. Because not only is it going to get tuned for that, it's going to get tuned for the headers as well. So because it was never tuned for the headers, so it's going to get a decent bump in power from what it had, which I'm excited about because I've gotten used to how it is, and I want to get that extra like woo, you know. Hayden said to himself that second year is a ripper, so I'm wanting to see if second year is even more of a ripper now. But anyway, let's move on to our next thing. And speaking of under the hood stuff, up here on top of these books, we've got a set of NGK wires as well as Denso Iridium spark plugs. I'm sticking with Iridiums. The reason I didn't go back to NGK on this is because I was kind of trying to be a little more on the price-friendly side of things with spark plugs because I bought NGKs before and I wanted to make sure that I had enough money for a transmission. So I was like, I'll go ahead and try out Denso because they're an OEM product of Toyota. I really like Denso as a brand, so I went ahead and grabbed Denso plugs. So we've got 6 Denso Iridiums up there, as well as some NGK wires to match with it somewhat. Yeah, it's going to look good. I like the blue wires. I think it's going to be a great little contrast, especially because the wrap color is not blue, unless I change my mind, which I'll get into in a minute as well. And it'll be really friendly as a contrast to whatever color I go. Blue is kind of a good contrast for pretty much the majority of colors. Now, obviously, if I wrapped it orange or yellow, it would look kind of gross, or green even. But yeah, I think the blue wire is going to be kind of a nice touch, especially the lack of color in the engine bay. But yeah, speaking on to the next thing, we've got ourselves a set of Kenwood speakers. So I got these for Christmas, actually. I never brought these up. Linus Tech Tips in here. The irony holding electronics too. But these are Kenwood's Concert Series KFC C681s. I'm really excited to get these thrown in. I really wanted to Rockford Fosgate, but Kenwood is pretty good too. I was really, if I'd had my way, I would have gotten Sony, but Sony doesn't make 6x8s, so I had to go with Kenwood instead, and that's fine. I like Kenwood. These speakers look really good. I really like the bronze color that the inside of the speaker has. I don't know if this is 4 or 2. They don't have it on the box, whether this is 2 speakers or 4 speakers, and I can't find where I would see if it's more than 2. There's impedance, and 81 watts RMS. Yeah, I'm not seeing, I mean, I'm going to assume by the box it's 2, so I can probably get 2 more, and we'll have the full set. And the box just seems small. Now that I think about it, the box is way too small to have 4 speakers in here. But anyway, regardless of the point, these will go in relatively soon, and we'll be set up. I mean, this is going to be a really good sounding system, and I think we'll be adding a subwoofer to it at some point that is also a Kenwood sub. I really want to get one that matches this, so it has that bronze color, but I'm having a really hard time finding one, so you have to keep an eye out. But anyway, on to the last 2 things. We've got the metal door handles in the back. I still need to get the other 3 doors done, so we'll have a full metal kit all the way around. For those who don't remember, my back left was snapped off by the tow truck driver that took it to the transmission shop the first time. At least that's what I think happened, because it was on when I took pictures of it, and then it was off when I got picked up. So I don't know if the guy was like meddling with it and snapped it the rest of the way off because it was already broken halfway off before, or what happened there. But yeah, so it's got a new metal door handle on one door, but the rest of them are still the plastic crud that I just despise. So we'll get the rest of them thrown on probably post wrap, because the rest of the door handles are gonna have to come off anyway for the wrap. So might as well go ahead and knock it out while they're out, and put these in, you know, around the same time and get that really nice metal feeling. Those will also be wrapped over as well with the color of choice. So yeah, which brings me to the wrap, which is over here in the corner. You guys can't see it. I'm thinking about changing colors and selling this color, so you guys might never actually get to see my original color until I bring it up later, unless I do make the decision to change it, in which case I might show it off in a video and be like, hey, this is what was going to be on the truck. Right now I've got 3 colors in mind, which I will talk about. Leave it mystery which one I will pick if I do decide to change colors. Nardo Gray, which is a 3M Storm Gray to be specific, because Vivid unfortunately is out of their Elephant Gray, which is the closest to Nardo that I've seen. As well as Avery's Light Blue Gloss, which is very similar to Yasmarina Blue, which is my favorite blue right now. I was thinking along the lines of trying to find a nitrous blue kind of color, but I cannot find a nitrous blue kind of color, and I think that it would be really cool to have a Ford-esque color on another Ford. But I think I'll go with this light blue. It's very similar to Grabber and Yes Marina and all that kind of like same shade of blue, as well as white, which would be ironic because of my friend group. Hayden and Michael both have white cars, and I think it'd be great to add a third to the list of that. So let me know what you guys would like out of those three in particular. Those are kind of the three colors I'm torn on. I probably won't do anything else, but I wanted something that stuck out a bit more. And the problem is, the only hint you guys are getting out of those colors is dark. Is that putting a dark color on a dark colored vehicle is going to make it a lot harder to notice that it changed at all in pictures. If I take pictures at night, people are like, is it different? So I feel like doing a more vibrant color, especially for nighttime photos, is going to stick out more. And I think it'll be a bit more recognizable than if I did, you know, a dark color, because it'll just make it look almost the same. And I think that I'd rather have something that stuck a bit more. I still want to get the gray cladding wrapped. I don't know if Michael's going to be able to do that. He said that it might be difficult. So if he's not able to do it, I might take it somewhere else to get that part done, get just the cladding done. But Michael has killed it his last two car wraps. He wrapped the Mazda and Hayden's car, as you guys have seen, and he killed it on both runs. So the truck is probably no different. It's going to be just as good. So I'm really excited to get with him on that. But that's again also towards the bottom of my priorities after I get it fixed. I think out of like all the new modifications, like the speakers and like the intake and all that stuff, it'll probably be one of the first things to get done. But in terms of like the timeline of events of when it comes back, what's going to happen, it'd be kind of towards the middle, if not the bottom. Because I need a lot of Bondo work to get done. I need some surface rust cleanup. The truck does have a couple spots of surface rust on it, so I need to get that cleaned up. But once that is done, I can get the wrap done. I'll throw the roof rack back on. I'm thinking about trying to get some roof like cross rails to give it kind of like a cool Euro kind of esque look. The truck is part German, as a lot of you guys may not know. Actually, the 4.0 was designed in Germany and built in Germany, so the truck is actually slightly German in a way. So it's a bit of a Euro kind of thing, and 4 of course does have a lot of operations in Europe. So so yeah, I mean, kind of give it a bit of a Euro twist and have some like a little roof rack going on. A lot of Euro cars do that, and I really like it. So we may throw some crossbars on it and the roof rack and give it kind of a cool look. And probably won't get a roof box though, unless I absolutely have to. I mean, I have a truck bed, but I think just having the rails on it will give kind of enough of that Euro influence that it'll work just fine. But yeah, so that's kind of again towards the bottom of my list. I do also want to try to either get new wheels, like get the Motos powder coated at some point. I love my Motos, but that rear fitment is just awful, and I can't stand it. And the problem is they don't make 40 mil spacers because zero fitment is flush in the back of these trucks. So plus 40 is not a good setup to run on an offset for these. It's great if you're towing because it still has the wheels sink down inside. But I don't plan on hauling anything that heavy anytime soon. So I'm thinking about getting new wheels at some point as well. The Motos will probably stick around. I plan on keeping those wheels. That way if I do need to tow something, I can swap them out and put the Motos back on. That way it'll be able to sink down more. But these new wheels will be strictly for driving on the road and looking good and taking to events, stuff like that. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe for more content coming soon on the channel. Sport Trac's coming home next few days. Expect a video on that. And yeah, take care, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys.